I gotta finish the fire pit. And in order for me to do that, I need to put on a couple more of these 1-inch pieces of pipe that I have. I'm gonna do it right on the floor here and get it done because I've got the go-kart up on my table. And then that'll be about it for tonight. I'll break out a couple pieces for my go-kart, show you guys, and maybe go over a little bit of my plan here. But let's get this part started. I've got these to work on here. Okay. Flip this over like that. Up pretty well, at least as best as I can. Like that. Just grab some of my stuff here. go. Get this stuff set up the best way I can. I need to take 3/8 of an inch of gap like I did before. So that's what I am going to do. Make these panels right. Get down here. Oh, not too bad. How you doing yourself? So, now with this, all these other panels that I did here took about 3/8 of an inch of space. So I'm going to do a little bit more. Ooh, wait. About there. There's there. That's perfect. And then I took these. Oh, well, that's good. And then in order to create this hinge joint that I wanted to make before, I have it like that. And then I'll tack it in place. I use some 60-13 like I did the previous ones to keep everything consistent. Use my new Pano V2 hood. I have a hard time getting comfortable in welding hoods because of my big head, and this is one of the few that actually fits me. Got my game changers on. I am all glued out this time. Here we go. These. I'm going to do tacks on the inside and on the outside, so I'm going to put these on the outside piece, and then I'll put these ones on this piece here. On the edge. I'm running out the length of. Heads up, everybody. Oh, I got to turn my hood on. Oh, it is on. Go. Nope, I missed. That ought to hold it. Slide this out of the way. Maybe. Tacked over some sliding. I'm an idiot. All right. And make sure these are even. Good, looking good. That wasn't very smart of me, was it? Nope, that was not. My ground's over here. So now I'm going to rotate this. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So again, we're going to set up so the edges are flat. Say 3/8 of an inch backwards. Doing a good guess right there. Cool. And again, before 1, 2, a little bit of space. The edge, a little width, a little bit space. That. Wrap it around. Now, since it's the outside of the nose, I need to do the inside over here. Do the same thing over here. Look at that. All right, so this piece, maybe, slide that out of the way. Attack this one. This one. And now I can flip it over and actually do some welding. And then I'll put some welds on here. That'll be good.
been a while since I've worked on concrete like this before. Oh. Those welds are done. Like my chipping hammer. That's beautiful. Beautifully done. Just gotta flip this one over and do this one now. Oh no! Did I lose one? I did. Son of a bitch. Where'd it go? Oh, it literally just fell off. You son of a bitch. I don't really feel like resetting this, so I should be able to figure it out. Looks like. Yeah, okay. Pretty good right there, I think. Let me get my chipping hammer. Piece of you. Oh, I'm doing all right so far. How you doing?
How you been this great while?
Yeah. And done. That's all there is to it for those pieces. There we go. Get around here. Show you. Good 6013 welds right there. Actually came out a lot better than I would have thought they would. Good enough for me, so I got a stack of these panels. The good thing is that I think what I'm gonna do is I've got to come up with a little bit of a plan, but I might make these panels kind of a standard thing, and I can build. This is kind of preliminary, but I might be able to make these. Now this one's a little heavier duty than I'd probably do as far as marketing. But probably end up selling these panels separate. And you can buy as many panels as you want, make as big of a fire pit as you want. If you want a custom design, you can order a custom design, I can have it cut. And then you make your own fire pit. You'll see more as I go through. These will get together. There you go. Clean this up real quick and I'll explain what's going on here. So I've got 8 panels, okay? All have these pieces of 1-inch tube. All these pieces have 1-inch tube welded kind of like this, okay? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. Now the idea is that I made some pins that'll go in here. And I'm gonna set it up tomorrow. I'll do a short video on it. And you should be able to set up make as big of a fire pit as you want. Now, this guy wanted, for the community that he lives in, I guess they have big bonfires. So he wanted a like 15-foot diameter fire pit. Jesus, that's a big fire pit. So instead of making a 15-foot big fire pit out of one piece, made it into sections. So one, I could truck it down, and two, if they want to break it down, they want to change size, they want me to make more panels for them, I can do that. This is kind of an idea that a friend of mine had. Actually, a friend of mine, Dave, that is actually doing this go-kart project with me, this go-kart competition. It was his friend, and he asked Dave to do it, and Dave said, oh, I'm a little busy, I don't have time, and he was talking to me about it. I said, well, if you don't have time and you're all right with it, I'll take it. And he said, have at it. So he sent me the contact information, got together, and whop, bam, boom, fire pit. So, yeah. Now, tomorrow I'll set it up. I get my kids to school. I'll be home during the day. So I'll set it up in the yard to see what it looks like, and then I'll probably truck it down to them this week. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even my solution, it was Dave's solution. And now that I'm doing this, like I said, what I might do is might make smaller panels. I'm gonna have to price it out, see how much it would be, if it would be cost effective for people to buy, and then I'll just make a bunch of these panels and they can kind of make the fire ring of their size. And then you can break it down and bring it home with you. You take it out, you know, camping with you, you just break it down and move it. I'll have to refine it a little bit. This is a little bit more, I want to refine it a little bit more. But it's not thought. So, pretty much with that right now. Now what I gotta do is I gotta clean up my bench a little bit. You know what? That is a pretty good point, actually. I like your suggestion. I'm definitely going to add that. That is a really good point. What I might do is use solid pins, because right now I use pipe. I use solid pins and point them. That's a good idea. I like that idea. Sweep up a little bit. I got all over the place. What's up? All right. Now, Pat, you haven't been. I don't know how much you've seen, but this is my new biggest project. I'll cut them at an angle. That's a good thought. Yeah. Okay. So, this is my new project. We're doing go-karts using wheelbarrows. Now, I got two other guys that are doing this with me, Dave and Mike, and they are building some as well, and we're gonna compete who created the best one. So we're gonna do a couple of competitions, drag races, tug of war, stuff like that. And then we are also going to do, you know, best in show. So we're gonna pick a car show or an event local that we can take and people vote on which one they like the best. This is all hose. but now that that took a lot. You know, the nice thing about a little fire pit project like that is, one, the customer gets a really good price because it doesn't take a lot of fabrication time to do stuff like that. Little jobs like that, I really do think that small jobs make more money for a business than big jobs. The reason why I say that is because big jobs take a lot of time and there's more things that go wrong. Little jobs, they don't take as much time, and usually you can figure them out pretty quickly. If there's a little bit of an issue, fix it, solve it, no harm, no foul. You know, bigger ones, can't really do that. So, yeah. I'm just cleaning up some of my tools that I left laying around because I need to work on some more shit. What are you guys doing? I need to put these somewhere, or I'll remember to take them in. Alright. So now, I'm not going to get into any more really big projects right at this moment. And somehow a lot of trailer repair for friends. Well, I've been there, done that. What happens is somebody finds out you can do something, or they know you can do something, you get sucked into it, and next thing you know, you're doing it for everybody. I know how that works. I understand. That's right, you were the one that had the Volkswagens. How is that going? I'll sit up for a little bit and talk. Slow. Yeah, it'll happen sometimes. Sometimes slow is good. Gives you an opportunity to kind of regroup and focus. Yeah, that's true, especially if you're doing a lot of stuff outside. That's cool. I like the little. Now, hopefully that works out. Like I said, I'll do a little short tomorrow on me setting this thing up. And then, yeah, I'll truck it over and set it up for him, show him how it's done, and piece of cake. Hopefully. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the spikes will definitely help. Now, I did leave the pins that I did make. I left an extra 2.5, 3 inches so they would stake into the ground so it doesn't move so much. And when I go to set it up, if that ends up being the case where it works out a little better, I might just make new pins. Yeah, they'll keep the geometry set. I agree with that. I definitely like that idea. But yeah, I think I might mass produce these panels. They're very simple to make, quick to make, and I can make a ton of them very quickly. We'll see. Now, while we're here, I have, this is a white box actually. I have a box. This is for the go-kart kit. Now, I have a $500 spending limit on parts. So far, I have used 0 of the $500. This was $28, and this will help me create the front axle for the go-kart. Now, what I'm doing is I am going to do a front floating axle for a very specific reason. One, because Model Ts have a front floating axle, but also two, I have a suspension setup that's going to be a little bit of a trick, and I need a floating axle to do it, otherwise it will not work the way I want it to. So I was able to order, off of eBay of course, the swing arms off of a ATV. Now looking at these, I don't know about all this. Looking at these, I don't know if this is gonna work. Where are my hubs at? Shit. Where are my hubs? Oh, right there. Under the table. So, my initial plan, well, I still might be able to do it. Let me think about this a second. These are in really good shape. I still might be able to make I've got the geometry kind of figured out. Kind of. That might work. Oh. That actually might work better. Hold on a second. Well, I might look into that for sure. These are in really good shape. These are in better shape than I thought they were. And I bought them for $25, $28. It's a good thing I bought new ones of those. I have the seals. I have new seals for these. The sleeve's in really good shape. That's good. I didn't think about that. That might work because this is the front end here. Oh. This might actually simplify my front end. What am I using for spindles? I gotta get them out. I'll show you. I have what are in good shape, the hubs from the same freaking
ATV. This is from a 2000 or 96 Kawasaki Bayou. These are from a 98 Kawasaki Bayou. And I am pretty confident that these are going to work. Now this goes on the bottom. And this one is for this side. This one is for this side, I believe. These are in pretty good, oh no, it's supposed to be, right? Yeah, that's it. So, I have all the hardware here. There's still some grease in this one. Ooh, the grease is not good. I gotta wash this out. So I'll have, does it go like this? Or does it go in front? Oh, it goes the other way. I can already see it. These are in here. It's a very simple suspension. It's a single swing arm, almost like the old school cantilever suspension on the Ford Rangers and the Ford Explorers. How that worked? Yeah, because that had to hit that. Yep. This one in here like this. Of course, there's a little cotter pin that's supposed to be in here that they don't have, but I have plenty of cotter pins I can use. Here we go. Yes. This will go on here, tighten that up, put the cotter pin on so it doesn't fall out. Now, these are designed to go at an angle up like that. Yes, that is how that worked. This held here, this is for the brake line. Oh, now I'm excited. And these spin really well. I gotta get so these are drums. These are brake drums for the front. And I don't have any of the brake pads or anything, but these drums are so simple that I can very easily make these work. They're just cable driven, cable actuated brake drums. There's nothing fancy. Piece of cake. Now I'm excited. I gotta. Now I got started. Now I can't stop. Oh God. So I was going to make a floating axle, but now looking at these, they're in such good shape. Now I need to repaint them, that's not a big deal. They are in such good shape that I think I'm just gonna make brackets and make them work as is. And just make an independent front suspension. That just makes the most sense. It's actually less fabrication than what I was going to do. But I still want to do the trick suspension that I was going to do. It's just going to require a little bit more fabrication in a different respect. I don't even know if it's going to work. That's the problem. But I want this to sit. It's actually a perfect length. Yeah, they're a little far out. I may have to inset it a little bit. I really kind of wanted it to be. See, I wish I still had. Yeah, a few Heim joints. I'm going to use a few Heim joints. I'm going to use a special type of setup for my suspension. I don't want to release what it is yet because it's going to be kind of my part that kind of makes everybody go ooh and ah. I just need a rear axle. I can make a rear axle, but I really don't want to. That's a lot of work that I don't want to do. I have a lot more work to do in here, right where the engine goes. A lot. But I want to make a roller. I want to make this thing roll quickly. Now my brain is functioning on all cylinders. I have an idea. I don't know if it's going to work. So I've got, steering goes right here like this. This one is on this side. Oh no, this is backwards. Is it backwards? Well, for my application, it would be backwards. Yeah, for my application, it would be backwards. It's probably forwards for the TV it was on. That would be like that. It would be like that. So this would sit kind of want these to sit. Yeah, that's probably going to be the wheelbase that I want. So I'm going to have to make brackets in there, but that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal at all, as a matter of fact. Let me think about that a second. Yeah, the brakes wouldn't be hard to do. A matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I have a brake lever from my mountain biking days that I can get a Y hookup for that. Matter of fact, I can even make one. I can make a Y joint for the cable. It's pretty simple. Yeah, I'm probably going to widen it out a little bit. Well, that's about as wide as I want to go. Maybe a little wider, but it's supposed to resemble a Ford Model T in a way, which is why I wanted to do a floating front axle, but for sake of controllability and the way I'm going to do the steering, this makes more sense. So I guess my next order of business, Pat, I really would love for you to become a member. So for $7 a month, you become a member. I put up the horizontal live while I'm recording this, and with the membership, you're able to see a lot more and follow me a lot more, and also the input that you put in is going to help me build this thing. So now if you stay on for free, I'm still gonna have the vertical live up. You just won't be able to see too much. But I'm also going to do a complete edited video on the entire build process. Matter of fact, I'm working on putting together the rest of the first part of the video, which is building the frame, how I got to this point. That'll be up soon. I'm working on that. It's taking a little longer than I want it to, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think I need to iron out a wheelbase. I appreciate it. If you don't, that's okay. I understand. You'll still be able to see everything else. Oh, my brain is working on overload. I'm not gonna be able to sleep now.
You should. And then let me know when you're doing it, because I want to chime in too. So I'm going to need to build a sub-assembly for the front that's going to be very, very reinforced. Build the sub-assembly because I can't modify the frame right now because I can't modify the frame yet because I'm not 100% sure as to how much space this engine that I'm putting in here is going to take up. I know it's not going to take up as much as I have. I know that for a fact. It's going to be much shorter than this, but I'm not sure exactly where, so I don't want to cut anything yet. But I can build this bracket. I'm going to have to draw it up. Because then I'll cut the tubes back and I'll make that part of the front clip. What I might do is heat these up and bend these. No, that'll take away from the look. I don't want to go too much further on the frame. Well, I kind of do, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of do. Got a lot to work on here. I got it. I think I got it. I think I know what I'm doing. So if I put that there across, I've got this right here. I need about 6 inches for travel and joint there. And this spindle here. Yeah. Now I'm excited. Underhanded, you're a little late to the game. I can't give away too much, but this is what I'm working on. Making this go-kart. All right, now I'm going to fit one hell of an engine in here. I have not let anybody know what engine I'm putting in here. It is not a Briggs & Stratton or anything similar to that. I can tell you that right now. Yes, it is gasoline powered. I'm gonna need to make like a fucking cage for this thing. This is gonna be rowdy as shit. Yeah, it's gonna be a live axle. It's gonna be like a go-kart or an AT. I wanna try and find an ATV axle with the carrier and the swing arm and just make it work out back that way. That'll be the simplest solution. But it may not work out that way, we'll see. This is actually only 1 inch, but it's 1 inch schedule 80, so it's super heavy. It's gonna be a heavy cart. I don't want to order any parts yet until I know exactly what I need. Yeah, I've looked at that. The only thing about the lawnmower rear ends is that they may not hold up to the speeds that or the power that I'm putting out of this. That's my biggest concern. Oh, thanks for checking in. Because I'm not putting 20 horsepower through this thing. It's a little bit more. But if I do some research, I might be able to find something. Oh, I've got so many ideas in my brain. Some of them I can't even put down on paper. Let me do some measuring. I was afraid of that. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be the biggest problem. You know what the best part is? Of the three of us, I have the least amount of power that I'm using. The rest of them are going stupid. My best guess is that that's where the front wheels are going to be, right about where I put them. Which would be nice. That would be pretty compact, relatively. Well, I already have a... Pat, you're gonna make me say too much. I can't do a CVT. That's all I can put out there. For reasons that I can't explain yet, CVT will not be an option for me. But believe me, that was a thought in my mind, just to make it work. But CVT's not gonna work. I kind of already have a transmission. And it's got gears in it. See, I could take the easy way out. I could take the easy way out, get a junk lawnmower that has a good running motor and a good rear end, and slap it in here and go. But my dumb ass is not doing that. Yeah, I think you know, honestly, Pat, what I thought, and let me run this by you. There's only 9 of us. I thought about putting in, because I found a transaxle for a Volkswagen Bug. I thought about doing it. I did. I would have to, it's just not gonna work for my application either. I gotta do a little bit more research. I need to figure out a rear axle for this thing. Preferably shaft driven, Yeah, mating, I know. Mating, I need to get a shaft-driven rear end that I can adapt to something. I got to do a little bit of research as to what rear axle, because I might even be able to get a rear axle for another Bayou. What I was trying to find a rear end for a Suzuki Samurai, but they're expensive around here at least, and they're hard to get. Are they heavy? Yeah. I want to keep it as light as I can because I've already got a lot of weight. Well, I'm going to work on the front end for now. The rear end I'm putting off to a later date because I have to figure some things out. And I have to get the donor. Well, I got to get the donor vehicle in here for the engine and pretty much the majority of the rest of the parts. I might look into that. Yeah, I'd be okay with cutting one down. I thought about that too. I'll look into that. All right. I think it's time for me to call it a night. I got more thinking to do. There's going to be some fabrication. What day is it? Oh, today's Wednesday. So I've only got tomorrow night, and then I've got the weekend to go do some work. Time's rolling pretty quick for this. I basically have for this, my goal is within 6 weeks' time to have a complete roller done. Plug the vent and make a new one. Well, that's simple. Yeah, so in 6 weeks, I want to have this roller completely fabricated. And I want to have the donor torn apart and figured out as to what I'm doing with them. Now with roller, I need to make sure the suspension's done. I need to make the steer, and I need to make the rear end do things the rear end's supposed to do. As far as the mechanical side of it, putting the engine in and wiring stuff, I got some time. But 6 weeks time, I need to get this roller done. Because my time after 6 weeks, come June, is going to be very, very limited. I'm just glad these are in good shape. I gotta repack them, but they're in good shape. Yeah, if you check in 8 weeks' time, the roller will be done, and I should have a complete video up on the roller. At least that's the plan. Now, we have a soft due date of like August to have these things completely done and to get rolling chassis done. It's hard to tell through messages and comments and stuff what's a joke and what's not. But in all seriousness, 6 weeks time, this does have to get done. Because come second week in June is when it starts getting super busy for me in other aspects. And I'm just not going to have the time to be able to do all this fabrication stuff. The other thing is, are these bushings in good shape? Yeah, they're okay. All right, good. So, all right. I'm going to pack up. I'm going to close up, go up to bed. Thank you for everybody for watching. Pat, thank you for the input. I appreciate it. I'm going to start looking up Nissan hard body rear ends. I have a feeling I'm going to be able to find an abundance of them based on where I live and how many of them I'm seeing. So, because that might work for me. I'll see you later.